I'm too weak. Oh, don't kill me, please.
It's not the Jedi way. He must live.
You're probably curious how Sheev Palpatine went from being a regular citizen of the galaxy on Naboo to the most dreaded Sith Lord in the Star Wars universe. Palpatine's tragic story of turning to the dark side culminated in him performing an unspeakable act to turn into a Sith. Palpatine learned about the Sith doctrine and accepted its assertion that power was the most valuable resource in the galaxy. He awaited the appearance of a Sith Lord so that he could be taught the ways of the dark side of the Force and eventually obtain the power he desired. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning.
Yoda, now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Sheev Palpatine, the future Sith Lord and Galactic Emperor, was born on Naboo. Young Palpatine first felt the dark side of the Force's allure when gathering Sith artifacts, according to the novel Darth Plagueis. Plagueis was a moon known as Hago Damask and an interstellar businessman. Palpatine first met him when he was young, and as initiation, Palpatine killed his entire family and then committed himself to becoming Darth Plagueis' Sith apprentice. Plagueis, in return, gave him the name Darth Sidious. Like Plagueis before him, Sidious took an active role in Naboo politics while carefully preserving his non-Sith identity as Sheev Palpatine. After planning the assassination of his predecessor in secret, he eventually rose through the ranks to represent Naboo in the Galactic Senate as a senator.
I am the Senate.
Not yet.
Years passed as he remained in that position, methodically building up his power and becoming more powerful politically and with the dark side. In his pursuit of power, Darth Sidious skillfully forged alliances in the treacherous corners of the galaxy, while simultaneously ascending the ranks of popularity among influential senators. Employing a shroud of mystery, he assumed the guise of a cloaked figure, appearing through holograms to communicate with discontented factions like the Neimoidians and their formidable trade federation. Through subtle manipulation, Sidious goaded the Neimoidians into blockading the peaceful planet of Naboo, creating a confusing situation that would later serve as the catalyst for his bid to become the Chancellor of the Republic. Meanwhile, Palpatine, under the guise of a trusted senator, took a young Zabrak into his custody, carefully raising him in the ways of the dark side. This Zabrak, known as Darth Maul, became Sidious's first Sith apprentice, a formidable instrument of his malevolent designs. However, according to the Sith's age-old decree that there can only be 2 Sith Lords at a time, Palpatine's ascent required the assassination of his master, Darth Plagueis. Thus, he ruthlessly eliminated his predecessor, cementing his position as the supreme Sith Lord, concealed behind the facade of a senator. Palpatine masterfully continued his manipulative plots, exploiting the ongoing intergalactic conflicts to further his own ambitions and career. From his influential position, he skillfully maneuvered the galaxy towards chaos and discord, perpetuating a cycle of turmoil that would only serve to strengthen his grip on power. So, how exactly did he become a Sith? The Galactic Senate chose Palpatine as Chancellor in The Phantom Menace, not realizing he was the Sith Lord who later started the Clone Wars in 22 before the Battle of Yavin.
No problem here.
Eject!
I can hold it.
Pull on!
No, I'm all right.
Using the conflict, Palpatine destroyed the Jedi Order, established the Galactic Empire, and crowned himself as Emperor. But Palpatine's conversion to the dark side and later to the Sith happened when he was a young boy. Palpatine was initially ignorant of the nature of the Force. Only the Sith doctrine, whose principles he agreed with, was what drew him to the Force. This prompted him to buy Sith artifacts and brought him into contact with Hago Damask. But Damask was more than just an interstellar entrepreneur. He was a Sith Lord looking for an apprentice and seeking immortality. And he made Palpatine an offer to become his apprentice. Accepting, Palpatine adopted the alias Darth Sidious. But what was it about the Sith that attracted Palpatine? This enigmatic Hago Damask II, who was he? Continue watching to learn why Palpatine turned into a Sith, his main goal, and who Damask really is. What led Palpatine to become a Sith? According to the novel Darth Plagueis, Palpatine's conversion to the Sith started when he was a young boy. He may have been narcissistic because he believed he was far superior to other people his age. and his family was also affected by his superiority complex. Palpatine thought he was more intelligent than everyone else and superior in every way, but he never understood why he was feeling this way. He was aware that his wealthy background gave him the means to network and rise to power. He began by trying to influence his father to increase their influence in intergalactic politics. Palpatine had the optimistic belief that in the long run, this would benefit not only his family but also himself. First on his home planet of Naboo, then throughout the entire galaxy. It was unfortunate for Palpatine that his father had no interest in influencing political decision-making. He deeply hated every member of his family, especially his mother, who he believed was to blame for his father's complacency. Shortly after this hatred had grown to its current level, Palpatine read the Sith doctrine, which he found captivating. Afterward, preoccupied with the Sith, Palpatine accepted the doctrine's tenet that power was more significant than anything else. Palpatine believed a Sith Lord would visit him on Naboo despite having heard that the Sith were extinct. Knowing what is known about Palpatine's early years, we can infer that his superiority over others drove his desire for power. He also thought that joining the Sith was the quickest way to obtaining the power he desired after reading the Sith doctrine and becoming obsessed with the Sith Order. Soon after, a Sith Lord going by the name of Hago Damask II found Palpatine. Palpatine was fixated on the Sith, but Damask did not perceive the Force within his future pupil. In reality, the only thing he perceived in Palpatine was a shadow in the Force. Intriguingly, Damask recalled a vision of a future Sith Lord shrouded in an enigmatic dark shadow that his master Darth Tenebris had experienced. It would be this Sith Lord who would ascend and rule the galaxy on behalf of the Sith. To the chagrin of Palpatine's father, Damask and Palpatine grew close. He went so far as to send his son to a university on another planet to prevent Palpatine from seeing Damask. When he attempted to pressure his son into a career outside of politics, Palpatine's father went too far, and Damask decided that Palpatine should begin his Sith training instead of being appalled. He wanted to gauge the boy's strength first, though. Palpatine and his father confronted each other and revealed their shared hatred. Palpatine killed his father, his entire family, and even their security guards to prove to Damask how valuable he was. Damask later revealed his true identity after being impressed. Palpatine's apathy towards the murder of his family earned the admiration of Darth Plagueis. Plagueis ensured that no one would learn the truth about what happened to the boy's parents, making Palpatine now known as Darth Sidious. As a result of Palpatine's success, he received training from Darth Plagueis before eventually assassinating him before the events of the Phantom Menace. Palpatine discovered that his desire for power, which he regarded as his top priority, was consistent with the Sith Code, which states that a person who uses the dark side acquires strength through power. Palpatine thought the Force chose the Chosen One, not himself, because he felt superior to everyone else. He also believed he was qualified to rule over Naboo. Palpatine's inferiority complex served as a driving force. He would do it on his own if his father weren't going to increase the family's power. Palpatine believed he had the right to be in a position of influence and power. Nobody was going to get in his way. And despite his desire for more power as the apprentice, it helped him get through his training and role as Darth Plagueis' understudy. And through his master's teachings, he discovered how to harness the hate, rage, and other hostile emotions connected to the Sith to gain power. Palpatine's motivations eventually grew for the Sith Lord into something greater. He attained senatorial status with the aid of Darth Plagueis, his family's illustrious reputation, and wealth. We also know that Palpatine's true goals went beyond simple galactic hegemony. He wanted to sit in Darth Plagueis' place and rule simultaneously. And that is the abridged version of how Palpatine became a Sith Lord. What do you think about his journey? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. Till next time, may the Force be with you.